Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. I'm really happy with my effect here for these sort of chunky outer lines. I always like when I get to do that. One of my favorite styles. Well, all of my styles are my favorite style. It's just nice when it's a style I haven't gotten to do for a minute. Anyway, so this design says good people don't need rules, and it's set up left to right here, which is pretty typical for a linear design like this, because if you imagine an infinitely large circle and you were to start reading that at the bottom and go counterclockwise, it would just be left to right. And bottom counterclockwise is the reading order of this script. So, this is our first word, and here's the bottom of it, and going counterclockwise, this is our first letter. This letter is a deep divot stem, so like this one here. And you figure out what a letter is by combining its stem plus its modifiers. And a deep divot with one line ending on it, see how it ends there on the letter stem, not on the vowels? That makes it in the one line column, and the letter G. Here we have a double line, and a double line is a double letter. So these two lines are the same thickness, which means it's the same letter twice. So we have two of these sorts of circles attached to the G, and that would be a double O, because an O is this brown one here, just like this one attached like a bead on a string. And then we have another deep divot at the end of this letter, at the end of this word. So we're again in this top row, and there's 1, 2, 3 dots, making it a D. So G, double O, D. And then we have this word, here's the bottom of it, and our first letter is this one. It is a completed circle stem, so we're in this row, and there are 1, 2 lines branching off of it, so that makes it a P. Then in the middle of the P, we have an E right in the center here, like this red one. So we have an E, then we continue around. Here's an O, a little guy inside the word circle. And then we have this fun letter stack here where I have the P and the L together. So P and L are both in this row, which means you can stack. So letters with the same stem can be stacked, and consonants are read before vowels. You read thin to thick. That's an important rule for this one because we have a thin line here in the middle and a thick line on the outside. So this thin line is the first letter we read. And there's 3 dots with that, so that makes that the L, and then this thick one is the P. And then we have an E. So P-E-O. I have my line thicknesses wrong. This is an L-P-E. I'm going to go fix that. I'm glad I found this typo. So here we have this line. This line needs to be the thin one, and then this one needs to be the thick one. Delightful. Okay, now it's accurate. P-L-E, and I'm going to go ahead and export this. Replace. Export. Replace. Lovely. Okay, cool. Sweet. So I have switched these 2 lines around in the thing. Let me just grab that real quick. Bam. Lovely. Okay, now we have an actual P and then the L instead of the L, which is the thin, like, before it was the L and then the P. I had to switch those thicknesses around to get it right, and then the E at the end. Then we have a D, a deep divot with 3 dots, an O attached like a bead on a string, an N with 1 line coming from it, so it's in the same row as the P, but with only 1 line. And then we have these double lines. A double parallel line going off to the sentence circle is an apostrophe, so that's the apostrophe in the word don't. And then this shallow divot is a T because no lines end on it, so this line passing through it doesn't count, because lines only count where they end on a letter stem. Excuse me. Okay, so D-O-N apostrophe T, don't. Here's another N, 1 line on it, E on the line of the word circle, and another E, and then a deep divot with 1, 2, 3 dots, making it a D. So deep divot 3 dots D, N has 1 line on it, and then we have this word, bottom here. And going counterclockwise, here's our first letter we hit, 1, 2, 3 dots, makes this shallow divot an R. So it's in the same column as the D, with 3 dots, and it is a shallow divot. A U has a line going outwards, 1, 2, 3 dots on the L, just like this L in people, E inside the L, and then we have this shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines attached to the bottom. So even though this looks like it could be its own letter, these are just the line modifier on the S in rules. And a letter stem, so yeah, you start reading at the bottom, and that's relative to the letter stem, not any of the modifiers, because like these line modifiers can kind of go wherever. So you read from the stem, the first stem that crosses the bottom. So anyway, R-U-L-E-S. So yep, there we go. We have good people don't need rules. And this is, again, just the sentence circle, which is the direction, like that's where I have our apostrophe going off towards. And it's also just kind of decorative. So yeah, that is that. I hope you like it. Bye.